When the CFMOTO 800MT-X launched, it seemed like everyone was calling it the next big thing in adventure bikes. Powerful, comfortable, incredible value, the reviews were glowing. But out in the real world, my experience told a very different story. There's nothing. You might have cracked the engine case. Oil everywhere. I just wrapped up a 3-week, 2,000 kilometer ride from Montenegro to Serbia, riding some of the most breathtaking roads I've ever seen. During the 3 weeks, I also participated in the Right Route ADV Summit, a 5-day event where riders from across Europe tackle Montenegro's rugged trails, test bikes, share knowledge, and swap stories. And I was lucky. George, the owner and organizer of the event, lent me his personal CFMOTO 800MT-X for the entire 3 weeks. So this wasn't a demo ride or a press test. I lived with this bike, highways, gravel, sand, long days, and while I was incredibly grateful for the opportunity, my experience with the 800MT-X was, let's just say, very different from what I expected. Whenever I pack for a moto trip, I always pack the quad lock handlebar mount, vibration dampener, and wireless charger so that I can mount my phone to any bike while overseas, which is essential for navigation, playing tunes, and keeping my phone topped up full of charge. And it takes up barely any space or weight in my luggage. If you would like to take part in this travel hack, Quadlock are having a Black Friday once a year sale where you will save 30% off everything store-wide. Check the link in the description below. Comfort-wise, on the road, it feels great. Even with the pillion on the back, luggage, you can cruise down the freeway at 140 Ks plus, and it just doesn't miss a beat. It just cruises, man. You can sit on that for quite some time. I use the Lone Rider ADV bags and found that there are plenty of mounting options for different luggage systems. You got the adjustable windshield there, and I quite like that it's adjustable, so on the fly you can just dunk, 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 and wind the thing up. But just like most windshields, it could be a lot better. And of course, cruise control, man. Yummy cruise control. I wish this thing had it. Cruise control's the best. The updated LC8C KTM engine's smooth and buzzy in a good way, and surprisingly lively, with enough torque to lift the front wheel without the clutch. There's a nice wide seat for a pillion, a massive low-slung 22-litre tank with a range of up to 400 kilometers, and a whole lot of bang for your buck. TFT dash, cruise control, quick shifter, adjustable screen, tubeless spokes, and off-road mode at the hold of a button. For Australian 15,990 brand new, on paper, it looks unbeatable. But from the very first 15-minute ride that I had, I could feel the inconsistencies, mainly the throttle and the quick shifter.
Interesting first ride. It was very jerky, heaps jerky, super jerky. And then when I get a shift, it's just cutting power. That's a strange feeling, definitely not comfortable with it yet, but we'll see where we go.
Usually when you take a new bike out for the first time, you just take it out for 5 minutes and you get acquainted with it. For me with the MTX, after riding it for about 15 minutes, I still felt a disconnect with the bike. It was that ride by wire. You could really feel that it was actually ride by wire. That's why I like the T7. And the Scrambler is also ride by wire, but it actually feels like a throttle cable, you know? And also the quick shifter, I was struggling with it. Every time I would just touch the pedal, there's a complete cut of power. And it throws you off balance, especially if you're going around a corner at low speed. But sometimes I felt like I wasn't even touching the quick shifter and I'd lose power. Luckily, you can turn the quick shifter off. But if it has quick shifter, you know, I'd like to use it. So I tried at different stages to see if it would work. Gears change. Quick shift doesn't want to work, huh? Unless it doesn't work in off-road. Come on, stand over there. Quick shift just doesn't want to work now. Interesting. But I had no luck. Although the 22-litre tank is mounted down low for weight distribution, meant that when you lean around a corner, it really likes to dip in. It dips in a bit when you go over a certain lean angle. It just wants to go whoop. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something worth noting. The indicator for me was quite a reach, and I've got pretty big hands. Just trying to find the indicator, man. Still, it's not natural. And it was hit and miss for the entirety of the 3 weeks. The cockpit is very large. There's a lot of unused space, and it kind of makes me feel like the bike's a lot bigger and longer than what it actually is. the fuel gauge only reads from half.
I found that quite strange. I mean, like, yeah, I get it. It's a 22-litre tank. You can read from when it's got 11 litres left. But there are some roads here in Australia that stretch for over 200 Ks. And if you misjudge that, then you're going to be stranded. And there were times when I would be guessing how much fuel I had, which I thought it's such a strange thing to not have the full tank capacity shown on your dash. And you still got to be playing guessing games with a bike that has this much tech. And the TFT dash, yeah, looks cool, looks amazing. But after riding the F900 GS and the Desert X, it's nowhere near that user-friendly. It just felt a bit clunky.
It doesn't know whether to go dark or light when it's like this. Surely make up your mind.
But it looks nice.
And I had experience where the bike would just randomly turn off by itself.
Yes, absolutely. I'll go for it. Yeah, see? I did nothing. Yeah, the bike just turns off by itself. I thought maybe because it's overheating, but it might be. It's halfway. I don't know.
Once I left the tarmac, things got a little bit interesting.
The first off-road patch that we hit was just the road construction. So it was just that hard pack with some gravel and stuff and some loose dirt. Usually on this, no worries, just cruise, you don't even think about it. That, as soon as I hit it, man, I was tank slapping. And then I had to slow right down, really just take it easy because I crapped my pants. I thought I was gonna come off, man, and it's got a steering dampener on there. That evening, we went back. I had to really just dial in the suspension a lot more. You really have to sit there and get it right. Watch some YouTube videos. There's some great walkthroughs on there, and dial in the suspension before you take it off-road anyway, because it can get pretty scary if you don't.
Oh man, and it just goes into neutral. I did it again, did it twice. There we go. Oh, I just went into neutral again. Third time in a row. I was in second, it just popped in. Oh, again. Why like this? Yeah, by itself. 4 times I just did it. Oh, I went into neutral again, man. Why like that? I'm going to turn off.
I think it's fantastic that there is the option to turn the quick shifter off. Like, that's awesome, especially if you break something, the module or something like that. I wish it turned off with the off-road mode, because it can get you in a pretty sticky situation. Imagine if you just needed to gas it out of something last minute and it does its thing and you just go into neutral and yeah.
Then there was the weight. On tarmac, the bike feels surprisingly light, especially with a wet weight of around 220 kilos.
It's not too top heavy like this thing, but once you start tipping, you feel the weight and all of a sudden you're just like, okay, this thing is quite heavy.
Picking it up is easier than the T7, but don't underestimate how heavy it is.
When the bike does tip and drops, the first thing to hit it is the tank. I would highly recommend getting the underside tank protectors, because the ones that are on there that come stock are just made out of plastic, and if you drop that thing and there's a sharp rock, you're going to pierce that plastic tank and you'll be in trouble.
And don't leave the bike on its side for too long.
No, there's something. It's oil.
Really?
Yes.
This was concerning because a similar thing happened to one of CFMOTO's pro riders during the summit.
We've come to a halt. A pro rider. He wasn't even riding on this. He was going all through there, making his own route. But it looks like he bottomed out. Maybe he bottomed out, and he might have cracked the engine case. Spirit of adventure, huh? Oh, oil everywhere.
But thankfully, that wasn't the case for us.
Feels like corn. Okay.
Ah, okay. Overflow. The overflow. Yeah, I can smell it actually. I can smell it.
Then came the tyres, the almighty CST Rally vacuums. They look like Pirelli Rally STRs, but that's where the similarity ends.
The compound of the tyre felt hard. I found that when cornering, the back end would want to kick out a little bit, and even if I'd brake, the back end would lock up, no matter how much heat I got into the tyre as well. Whereas with the Pirelli Rally STRs on the Scrambler, man, I had that thing corner to corner, edge to edge, could trust it fully. But with the MTX, I was still counter-leaning around every corner. I just did not trust them at all. Off-road, they felt twitchy, they felt hard, bouncy. Just change the tyres. If it's the first thing you do, make sure it's that.
This is where things really started to go downhill.
With that first quick shifter power cut thing from that 15-minute little ride I did, that ended up becoming a bigger deal. When I'd ride, I'd just be cruising, not doing anything crazy, and then I'd notice, the engine light would just pop on, and then the gear indicator would disappear. And that's when I'd know things are starting to play up. And there'd be times when I'm just cruising and then the power's boop, bah, just on and off, cutting in and out, clutch in, downshift, do whatever I gotta do, and then things will just come good again. It was a very bizarre issue that was just happening over the course of the 3 weeks.
There's nothing.
Switch gears, switch gears.
It's in gear, in first.
Switch some other gear.
Oh, now it'll be okay. Oh, no. Yeah, so what is going on there, man?
In my head, I'm thinking it's either the ride-by-wire issue, the module isn't picking up signal from the throttle, or it's the quick shifter issue that I was experiencing from day one.
Then it got worse, to the point of us being completely stranded.
So that thing that I was doing where I was cutting out power, it's doing it all the time now. Because I did adjust this, but surely, like, is it something to do with this? Is this out of a line or some crap? Or is this the module for the quick shifter? That's obviously a magnetic pickup sensor. It's cutting out power. It's like it thinks that I'm shifting like that. Unless that needs to be adjusted a bit better. See how it's like really far down here and not so much at the top? If it should be like there all the time. It's a little bit up higher. Oh, yours is higher. Oh, hang on, is it? No, it's not. It's exactly the same. Big of you just freaking unplug it, eh?
I checked the simple things first, like fuses and relays, which were fine. Then disconnected the battery and let it sit for a moment in hopes that it would reset the computer and reset the fault codes, with no luck.
Followed the wiring back, unplugged this, and it seems to be running pretty good now. It's snappy, everything's running. Could be an intermittent issue. I'm just going to put it back together, see how we go from here.
And this seemed to have done the trick, for the time being. But this meant that cruise control was also disabled.
But it was a small price to pay for the tour to continue.
Which it did, and I had no problems at all for the rest of the tour, until the night before handing the bike back over. It was the exact same issue, but this time it had us stranded in the middle of Belgrade, and it was right after a football match with screaming fans everywhere. We let the bike sit for a little and managed to get it going again, still with no idea what the issue actually is.
The problem was unknown, but apparently CFMOTO flashed the ECU or something, reset it, and it's been happy days since then.
I really wanted to love this thing. It's comfortable, it's feature-packed, and for the price, it should be unbeatable. But when a bike has so many electronics, with some that only work part of the time, and makes you question your safety, that's where it loses you. Now, I get it. Things do go wrong with bikes, and although this may be an uncommon issue, it still took away from my overall experience with the 800MT-X. And unlike other ADV bikes that I've ridden with a similar level of tech, I just couldn't connect with the 800MT-X. It felt like I was talking to a computer. One that can do a lot of things, but just not particularly well. It really reinforced my preference for keeping things simple, especially on an adventure bike. CFMOTO's come a long way, and I genuinely respect that. I was lucky enough to take one of their UTVs out and was impressed. This thing was awesome. But for me, the 800MT-X feels like a bike that looks ready for adventure until you actually take it on one.
So the 800MT-X, do you own one or have you ridden one? And if you have or do, have you had or have the same experiences that I have had? Let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next vid. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much, Quad Lock, for sponsoring this episode as well. Woo! Ride safe.